Everyone listen all. What I am about to tell you will impact your life like no other, because I am about to tell you the secret into life. I will tell you this as soon as you sign up for the Church of Scientology and pay a very large amount of money in church dues. Of course, this is just a mandatory monthly donation, which you may or may not be able to afford. Even if you don't intend to sign up to hear the great truth, you should still listen to me, because Scientology is a religion and a way of life that is growing vastly in popularity, and you should try to educate yourself about different cultures and religions in order to better yourself and make yourself a more well-rounded person. Now, I'm very qualified to give this speech because I myself am part of a religion. That religion does not happen to be Scientology, but it's still religion. I also possess the ability to read informational text, which is an ability that should never be underestimated. Now, my purpose today is to educate you on the basis of Scientology, the purpose of Scientology, and the controversy of Scientology. My purpose is not, however, to convince you that inside of you there are insubstantial spiritual beings known as thetans. However, if you wish to believe so, feel free. Now, the basis of Scientology is in fact that there are spiritual beings inside of you known as thetans. Now, these are not just spirits, but alien spirits. Now, these used to be mere godlike figures with powers over matter, energy, space, and time, but they were the victim of a dwindling spiral in which they increasingly restrained their own power in order to not harm others. Now, the spiral continued so much that they forgot their own spiritual nature and actually believed that they were the human meat body. Now, without Scientologists around to intervene and save the thetan, it will continue down the spiral, and it will not remember how to pick up a human meat body anymore. This should really worry you because, as stated by the creed of Scientology, a person's self-awareness and identity come entirely from the thetan. And so, without the thetan, you are nothing. In other words, you are the thetan, and the thetan is you. Now, L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology and also a science fiction writer in a completely unrelated career, also believed that with proper counseling, your thetan could regain the powers over matter, energy, space, time, as well as life and thought. Of course, you can't do this without auditing a Scientology product, and so you have to join the church. Now, all this may seem just a little ridiculous to you, but that's only because the thetan inside of you has been brainwashed not only by society, but also perhaps by the religion to which you previously belonged, or even belong to now. Have no fear if this is the case, for you may be both a Scientologist and part of a different religion, such as Judaism or Christianity. Of course, being a Scientologist, you wouldn't be able to believe in heaven, hell, the divinity of Jesus Christ, and there's also the fact that the idea of a God wouldn't exactly make much sense with Scientologist teachings. But it's a thought that counts. And you have to remember, all of this is just because Scientologists are on a completely different spiritual level than the rest of humanity. Now, Scientologists do spend most of their spiritually dedicated time in a process called auditing, in which their thetan is counseled, and it tries to get over the very traumatic memories it has of its past life as a clam during the Earth's evolution. Now, with enough auditing, you may reach one of two spiritual states. The first one being clear, in which the thetan is realized, but does not possess all the powers it used to have. Now, clear does come with some, extra stuff, but only Scientologists possess that knowledge, and I don't. Now, the next stage is operating thetan, in which the thetan is fully realized and, as the name suggests, operating. And, as L. Ron Hubbard suggested, you do in fact have powers over matter, energy, space, time, as well as life and thought. Yay! Of course, getting to operating thetan may cost as much as $360,000, so you should really start saving up now. Of course, it takes more than a little bit of spirituality and a spiritual purpose in order to make a religion a religion. If it lacks a certain je ne sais quoi, or a controversy, it's not really a religion at all. Take, for example, the Catholic priests in Ireland who like wee boys a little too much. Or the Islamic extremists in the Middle East who hate America little too much. I'm very, very pleased to announce that Scientology does in fact have a few controversies. Take, for example, the attack the attacker policies, in which anyone who criticizes the Church of Scientology is subject to attacks on their name or even their physical person. An example of this is the suppressive person policy, in which if you criticize a church, you are labeled as a suppressive person and may be lied to, tricked, sued, attacked, or even destroyed. Now, the Church of Scientology won't punish you for these deeds, but the governing laws in your country might, so be careful. Now, the second instance of controversy I have is one that took place in around 2003 as a result of Scientologists' hate of psychiatry. Now, they hate psychiatry because they believe that it interferes with the auditing process and only confuses the thetan further. Of course, this has led to a few problems. Back in 2001, a man named Jeremy Perkins was diagnosed with extreme violent schizophrenia. His mother, Ellie Perkins, declined him psychiatric care or medicine because she was a senior auditor in the Church of Scientology and therefore did not believe in psychiatry. Now, he was a troubled young man, and so he attempted suicide around 2003, and she stopped him. So, a different day in 2003, Jeremy Perkins woke up, took a nice, long, hot shower, went downstairs and stabbed her 77 times in the chest with a steak knife. Of course, all this could have been avoided had she just given him the care he deserved. But, you know, it was what she believed in, and can we really fault her for that? Of course, when you compare this to other religious controversies, such as the Spanish Inquisition, it really doesn't seem all that bad. So all it really does is provide Scientology with a certain controversy, and therefore the certain je ne sais quoi it needs to be a valid religion. Now, I've talked to you today about the basis of Scientology, the purpose of Scientology, and of course, the controversy of Scientology. Now, all this just is the skeleton of Scientology. It's not really the beef. Scientology is also a very rich religion. As L. Ron Hubbard said, you don't get rich writing science fiction. If you want to get rich, you start a religion. And he certainly fulfilled that purpose, as Scientology is in fact very, very wealthy. Of course, if you're a Scientologist, you also get to rub elbows with a lot of famous celebrities, such as Tom Cruise and John Travolta, both very avid Scientologists. So, you know, the next time you're considering a religion and perhaps adopting a new one, and your son just so happens to be diagnosed with schizophrenia, don't take him to a psychiatrist or get him the care he deserves. Just feed him vitamins and really, really hope that he doesn't stab you 77 times in the chest with a steak knife. Thank you.